Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. I want you to think of a time where you felt blessed growing up as a child. It could be you as an individual, it could be you, your family as a collective altogether. Just think of the greatest blessing that happened to you growing up. And I will share my experience here in just a little bit. I want to remind you that I have an online 12-week course for 18 years on up for men, women, whoever. It is a course that helps you to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I help people go from being stuck, stagnant, not knowing what their mission, life purpose is, and maybe you're dealing with past trauma, emotions uh, that you don't know how to get rid of from childhood, just all sorts of things. I go over a ton of tools that helps you move forward. And I suffered from depression and I suffered from suicidal thoughts for 30 plus years. That is a long time. I dealt with all of those things and I didn't have the tools. I didn't know what to do. I just thought I was going to be like that the rest of my life and just make it the best I can. And when I came across tools, I noticed that I didn't have to turn to pills. I didn't have to, uh, you know, rely on somebody else outside myself here on this earth. What I did was I submitted myself to God and I just had a God led life. And I said, okay, God, I don't know what it looks like to be happy. I don't know what it is I need to be doing. Please help me know. Okay, I feel like I've learned, and then as the years went by, I feel like I've been learning a lot. What is it you want me to focus on? And He was there. God has let me know every step of the way what it is I need to be learning. And life is constantly a learning and progression and falling back, moving forward, falling back, moving forward, but staying the course. That's the secret, staying the course and being in a frame of mind that moves you forward healthy. And when we improve on ourselves, we improve on our relationships. The whole world outside of us changes when we focus on a balanced mentality of helping heal our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical being. So that's what I do in that 12-week course. It is June 24th through September 9th. And it's an hour to hour and a half online Zoom live call, and where I go over teaching principles and visuals and then homework, and then a one-on-one 15-minute phone call each week, just to make it more personalized and help you reach your targeted areas. So, what is the number one thing that you would say blessed you in your life growing up as a child? So, I'm going to tell you a little back history of my family. My parents had 6 children, but my twin and I were number 3 and 4. And we were, my mom couldn't get pregnant after. I just remember she was trying to get pregnant when my sister and I were 3 and 4, and she couldn't. But I remember that my parents said, hey, let's pray as a family that we can have another set of twins. My mom wanted another set of twins. And she just said, hey, let's pray that we have a set of twins. And then as the months and the years progressed, it got even more specific. It was, please bless that mom will have a set of twin boys. And so she prayed for twin boys. And she got pregnant, and she got pregnant with twins. And there's a backstory to that. I won't get into that now, but it's pretty special to our family. And she gets pregnant with these twin boys. And the whole time during her pregnancy, the power of prayer is amazing. She prayed along with our family. She told us, hey, we need to be specific in our prayers and let's pray for healthy and perfect babies. Healthy and perfect babies. So we did. We prayed for healthy and perfect babies. And so she goes through her whole pregnancy really well, and then she has these babies. Well, the biggest blessing that came were these babies. So a little backstory. I had a big mouth when I was little. I was just the kid that would jump up and down on the couch and I would swear at everybody and I wouldn't say very nice things. And the word retard was very well accepted in our home. We just called everybody that. And I wasn't very nice. I had a mouth that wouldn't stop sometimes. So we grew up when I was little until, so there's 9 years difference between my sister and I and the next set of twins. There's just about 9 years, just under 9 years. And I just remember before they were born, we would call each other retards. And I know it's not good, but uh, when my mom had these babies, they found out shortly after the birth that one was born with Down syndrome and one was not. Now, Down syndrome, if you guys are not familiar with Down syndrome, uh, they are born with special needs and they have physical characteristic traits that define them as Down syndrome through their eyes, through their palms of the hands, and through their muscle tone and their feet, how they're designed, and different things, facial features. So there's a lot that goes into Down syndrome. And I hope you have been blessed to have somebody like that in your life. That was the biggest blessing. As soon as they were born, my parents were like, that word, retarded, no longer allowed. We do not say that word. And it took that. It took him coming into our lives to turn something around that needed to be turned around in the first place. And so we were not allowed to say that. Well, it was the biggest blessing because we got to not only take care of one baby, but two babies and to watch them grow and develop. So the biggest blessing is that he had special needs. And you know what? It was a really big blessing, the both of them, to be born, because the one that didn't have special needs, he just was a protector and he took care of his brother, and he had a big heart, and he still to this day has a big heart. And that is quite the assignment. God sent him down and said, hey, you're going to be his brother, and I need you to take care of your brother. And you know what? The brother with Down syndrome took care of him too in so many ways. They taught each other and they helped each other through life, and it's been kind of beautiful. So it was a blessing to our family to have these twin babies and to have special needs, a baby with special needs that was different and unique. In the video before, in case you didn't watch it, I had a hard time as a child that I had the special needs brother because I got made fun of as a kid by a few, not many people, but by a few people. They would, you'd get you're out and about and look at that, and, people would point it out or whatever. And I remember showing my brothers for show and tell when they were just a few weeks old. And then the rest of the school year, thank goodness it wasn't a whole lot longer of a school year, but for 3 to 4 weeks, I got teased relentlessly by a kid that said, you're the one with the retarded brother, and I don't want to play with you, or get out of here, or, And so I just was treated badly, and I never did tell my parents, but it was hard. And so I kind of had a grudge. I was only, 9 at the time, pretty much. And it was a hard change for our family. And I had a hard time accepting it. And it took several years for me to get outside of myself and realize what a blessing he was to our family. And I will get that. This is a segment number 1, is the blessings that come to us along in our journey. And this is a segment 1 of Down syndrome, featuring Down syndrome people. Tomorrow is a special, what's the biggest lesson that my brother with Down syndrome taught our family? And I will get into that. There's a couple lessons actually, and I will get into that. Well, not a couple, there's several. So special needs people teach us so much. And if you have been blessed with special needs people in your life, you know what I'm talking about. It is the blessings and the goodness that come from special needs babes and children and adults are landslides and huge compared to the challenges that come with, because the frustration that comes with that they they can't do things as other people can. But it is such a beautiful journey that our family was able to be on because of his condition. So, what what blessings have you noticed along the way in your journey? What blessings from the time you were a childhood focus on? A lot of times when people think back on the past, it's either with regret or it's with sorrow or sadness. Wished you woulda, coulda, shoulda. Those kind of thoughts creep in, and it's easy to focus on replaying the past. Well, I wish I could have done that over. If I could live that over one more time, I would do it differently. And so we look at the past different, almost in a negative light most of the time when we're looking at the past. Now we probably all have experienced great moments too, and there's times we look on the past and we're focusing on those good moments. And while it's okay to look back on the past, don't stay there for too long. Just go there for just a moment and just take it in whatever you need to, a teaching moment, whatever you need to learn from, especially if it was a blast, a moment that was exciting and that you remember. Um, Hold those dear to your heart. We have memories for a reason to carry us through when we lose loved ones or, so the past is wonderful, but we are meant to stay and live in the future. We are meant to be in the right here, right now, what is going on. So I do, when you look back, I want you to focus more on the blessings of your life. What has brought you to where you're at right now? Who has been a huge influence for you? Maybe it was a negative influence. Maybe it was a positive influence. There have been great teachers in my life that have been both good and bad, and I am grateful for them all. I hope you are able to look back on your life and say, you know what? I'm grateful for these experiences because without them, I wouldn't be who I am or where I am today. And if you are not happy with where you are at today and who you are at today, it's never too late to start. To start loving yourself, truly loving God, truly loving yourself so you can love others around you. So we are to just count our blessings. See what blessings that you've had all through growing up and all throughout your late teens and your early 20s. And then you think about your relationships. What are all the relationships you have gone through? What have you learned through each one of them? Maybe you didn't have a ton of relationships and you jumped into marriage. I didn't have a ton of relationship experience before I got married. And so, marriage for me, and a lot of people, it's different, but a lot of people, it can be the same. But marriage was such a challenge. And it, and it still is a challenge, right? We have our ups and downs, but marriage, I mean, there were so many times where I wanted to throw in the towel. And I, let my husband know that too. And it wasn't fair to him. I wasn't in a healthy set of mind. I was not a happy person a lot of the time. And so I didn't know how to handle things, but I am grateful. I know so many people want to throw the towel in 7 years into marriage, 10 years into marriage, 15 years into marriage, 20 years into marriage, and even 25 and so on. And then they want to end their marriage. And I think of all the times that I suggested that we end our marriage, that each time I chose to hunker down and we decided to work things through. And you know what? We are still married and going strong, but I look back going, "Oh my gosh, I remember how I was feeling back then and how I just wanted out. I just wanted out, couldn't do it anymore." And I am so grateful. I look back and go, I am so grateful we toughed it out and we worked it out because we have a bond that we have never had before, and it has just gotten stronger and stronger. And so I encourage you to look at all your hearts, look at all your trials in the past and see what they've taught you and what you've learned from them and how they've helped you move forward. And really, they are all blessings in disguise. Everything that God gives us are blessings in disguise. So I just want you to be thinking, write it in the comments. What was the biggest blessing that happened to you or your family or growing up? Who impacted your life the most? So, God blessed our family with a special needs babe, and he didn't learn how to walk until he was 6. And so he was carried around a lot, and we'd get to push him in the stroller a lot, and we would, take him for wagon rides and different things. And it was just neat to see that what the norm was for our family before he came, and what the new norm was. And there is no normal. There's no normal. Every family is perfect the way it is, fine. But every family has their dysfunctions, fine. Be okay with that. Be okay with having your own unique set of trials and challenges and situations. Maybe there's not a mom and a dad. Maybe it's just single parenting home. Maybe it's no parents or foster care or whatever your situation was growing up. There are so many unique things, but I just want to let you know that God is completely aware of you, what you're going through, and he brings every challenges that we deal with to the table for our growth. And we get to choose whether we grow from these. We get to choose to be bitter or to come out of it on top. And my favorite saying is victor or victim. What are we going to choose? Victor through Christ or a victim of circumstance and stay stuck in the mud? And I have been there for too long, 30 plus years stuck in the mud, and I couldn't hold my head high. I had zero self-confidence. I compared myself to everybody around myself, and I just didn't feel worthy to connect to God, didn't feel worthy of God's love. And I'm here to tell you that God is very much aware of you, and question everything. Question if he is even there for you. Question all things, because that is how we strengthen and develop our relationship with God. He wants us to have that relationship with us so that we can have an easier time on our journey. A lot of the times, those 30 plus years, I just noticed it was like me standing, put it in your mind, if you will, a brick wall right in front of you, a brick wall. And it was just like me hitting my head on that brick wall over and over and over. And it was truly the definition of insanity. And I didn't know there was other possible ways. When you're raised a certain way and you have a mindset, and you have created a certain perspective and a certain image in your mind, it makes it really hard to break out and rewire and change the thinking. So our minds are powerful. They are we can control our thoughts and what we think to help the spiritual health of our bodies, the emotional health of our bodies, the mental health of our bodies, and also the physical health of our bodies. I'm walking living proof, and I like to share that in my 12-week online course. So again, share in the comments what something that was the biggest blessing that happened to you growing up. Special needs entering into our family was the hugest blessing for everybody of a whole. And I will get into tomorrow the greatest lessons he's taught our family. So God bless. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Share it with others. I'm here to share my light. It's my mission and my purpose to help people become unstuck spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, and heal, because God and Christ are in us, and we were made to heal on each of those levels. God bless. Hit like and subscribe. And until next time, talk to you later. Bye.